Well, hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Hey, Phil, Verna. We got CDB, it looks like, is in here, and Nikki. Good to see everyone. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me okay? I know on my end it looks like it's lagging, but I also know that's not always so. So everyone's saying hi. Sound 5 by 5 and sounds and looks good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. So, good evening. Thank you for everyone for returning. I know it's kind of been a choppy schedule the last few weeks. And then if you're new and watching this in replay or anything like that, my name is Matt with Grafted Branch Homestead here on our urban homestead in training. I like to throw that in there where we're learning skills now and developing practices now to benefit us later. And actually tonight is more of a free chat where I like to say hello to everyone and see what's going on with everyone. I often do throw in some organization in there just to kind of keep it going as well. So the theme of tonight's is really, am I a homesteader or are we? And so it's a question I see a lot of people ask online or in YouTube, and a lot of people address. Some people say they are, they're not, they're on their way. They define it differently. So that's something we'll get into a little bit as what I kind of wanted to talk about. 6 watching, only. Oh, let's see. Verna says there's 6 watching and only 4 thumbs up. Who's slacking? There we go. So someone give a thumbs up if you're not for sure. It definitely helps out. And thanks for sharing out there, Verna. I appreciate that very much. So if you guys like, you can always type in GBH as in Grafted Branch Homestead, and it will share your channel link down here in chat. Or you could type in your area code or city or state, something like that, and it will display your weather there. So everyone can subscribe to your channel if you have one. And so it's been a lot going on the last few weeks. We missed a couple streams. Last week, I was actually at the New Mexico United soccer team's game with my oldest son and my family. And he got to meet the team, and they did a fundraising type thing for his school and his soccer team. So that was pretty neat. They had a fireworks show. I don't go to those things very often. I don't do too good around a lot of people or real loud noises and crowds and things. So, but for my son, it is definitely worth it. So that was a lot of fun. Hey, Shalom, who do we got in here? Let's see. J. Mary hopped in. Shalom, good to see you. And then Nightbot's dropping the weather there. Verna's showing us how to do that. Hey, Nick, good to see you. So Nick over at Arizona Highland Homestead, howdy. Can't stay. Celebrating 18 years married. 18 years with my beautiful wife of my youth. How cool. Well, happy anniversary. That is so exciting. Thanks for stopping in and supporting, saying hi. Now go enjoy your wife and your time this evening. That is so cool. Thanks, Nick. And let's see. There we go. I know I hopefully I don't miss people in here. But I know sometimes I do. And I know a lot of people, just because of timing, tell me they watch in replay. And that's awesome. I appreciate all you guys, too. I don't get to shout you out as much, but I do appreciate you. If you're watching in replay and it's possible, I do ask you give a thumbs up and drop a comment down below just so I know who's watching. And I'm able to thank you as well. I got to sneeze, I feel like. Sorry. Says yours is 74 and your Gobi says 87. Yeah, so when I type in Albuquerque, it's very misleading. Albuquerque is an extremely diverse topography. There's times of the year you can go up in the mountains and go skiing and then drive down here and have a nice picnic in your shorts in the park in the same day. And so when I do Albuquerque's weather, a lot of times that gives it either at the airport or down in the valley where it's a lot cooler. I sit up here on the mesa, so the temperature is a lot hotter. And then I know a lot of times they're just wrong. So you mentioned your Govi there, though, Verna. That's cool. So that was my non-affiliate product review. I actually have 2 of them tonight, but one of them is the Govi because it is just so useful. And when I talk about my quail and eggs, we'll talk about that a little bit more. But I absolutely love this thing. Hey, thanks, Jay Mary. Appreciate that. And people are saying happy anniversary. Awesome. You guys rock. Cool. Got a little bit of a crowd. So yeah, we've been off with consistency a little bit. Last week we got home. We did some tailgating, and I didn't have to spend, which was great. And it was on a Saturday, and then we had already gotten tickets for the event. And so we did that. It was a whole lot of fun. I hadn't done that before, and so we enjoyed that. We did get in really, really late back home, though, and I just wasn't able to do the live stream. But that's okay. One thing I am learning is balancing YouTube and work and my family and personal life and priorities and things. And in that moment, my oldest son definitely took some priorities. So that is awesome. So with that, yeah, he has a lot going on. He's in high school. He's in soccer and band. And we'll start driving and a whole lot of other things. So he is an extremely busy teenager, which therefore makes us very, very busy and adds a lot on our plate as well. A lot of good stuff. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I always do. Hopefully the sound's a little bit better. So you may notice I have a little bit different of a setup going on. So I've moved my desk and all my stuff here to the other side of the room, and that's for a couple purposes. One of those purposes is I'm going to be setting up. I still am getting components together. That's slowed down a little bit with a trip that's coming up, but I'm building a solar system that I'm going to be slowly taking my house. I'm not taking it off grid, but I'm going to be taking appliances off grid as I can. So one thing I did get, and this is my next non-affiliate product review, was a voltage, amp, and watt meter. And this thing is awesome. So I've been plugging this into different devices and seeing what it takes exactly. So I know when I run things on solar, what I can and can't do. The first thing I'm going to be doing is hooking up my computer and this setup here and the lights and all up to the solar system. Now, I know I can't do the vacuum yet. I can, but it's going to suck that battery down quite a bit. Vacuums take a lot of power. And then my goal is to get freezers eventually, but that's going to be a project for down the road. So I'm getting a lot of glare off my glasses. Hopefully that's not bothering anyone. I could try and figure out how to fix that a little bit better later on. Yeah, hotter than it is outside. And so you're a different kind of heat too. At least here, we're a very dry heat. So if you sweat or you put a wet towel on you, anything like that cools you down quite a bit. Being in the shade or here with these fans can cool me down. You're in a very humid heat, which I'm going to be experiencing here soon. So you say it's fine. Okay, good. And so I'm going to be experiencing that soon. I've experienced humidity before, but not often and not enough to really remember too much of that. So you may have noticed in the video we've done some harvesting. We harvested some of our grapes, and so this year we're going to be making a wine out of the grapes. Now I don't drink anymore, so I'm going to be doing a kombucha out of some grapes for myself, but some wine for my wife, and then the kombucha or grape juice will be for the children as well, and that's going to be for our Sabbath seders there, and so I'm really excited for that. We get so many grapes off those plants, so hopefully we'll have some videos there. The Three Sisters garden has gone insane. It's an absolute forest. It's about 7 foot tall, and as vines and squashes, the vines are doing what the beans were supposed to do. I'm afraid the beans may have all been choked out, but it is going great. Chickens have been doing really good. Quail have been doing good. They've been dealing with the heat. I do a couple different things to help them with the heat. So the chickens are taking a lot more water, definitely. I fill up water dishes, big. They're actually the big dishes that you put under big pots, but they're perfect to fill up with some water, and then the chickens can get in there. They put their feet in there, and it helps cool them down a lot. And so then the quail have been getting some cucumbers as well as the chickens. 2 of my chickens have gone broody, and I didn't film this because I've done it a little bit before, but wanted to see if it worked, and it's working great. So next time it happens, I'm going to film it. But 2 of them went broody, and so I have a dog crate set up in the chicken area, so they can still be part of the flock. And I put water and food in there. I have to keep putting water and food in there because the broody chicken kicks it over because they're mad a lot. And then I put the broody chicken in there, and I do that for 3 nights. So if I can keep it in there 3 nights in those days, after that it breaks the habit, and I can let the chicken out, and it's fine. So I did that with the first one. I've done it with Betty a couple months ago, and it worked great. Then I took Parmesan. She went broody and Betty again, and so I put Parmesan in and let her go. She did fine. Betty is back in there now, and so tomorrow she gets to be freed, and hopefully won't be broody anymore. So that's awesome. I think that's a cool trick. Verna's away from keyboard right now. No problem. Yeah. It won't be as bad. Okay. And so very different climate there. I haven't done a lot of traveling, especially since I've been, older and whatnot. So I would really like to see more parts of the country. I'm always asking people where they're from and how they like it where they're from, just because I'm very curious. Builds have kind of taken a little bit of a setback as far as in like the greenhouse and the roof on the chicken coop upgrade. Those have taken a back seat, as well as some projects because of the upcoming trip to Ohio. Let's see. And then, of course, Casey's school starting up here. Casey's got a lot going on with his school and different things like that. He's been really helping out with the garden, with picking herbs and drying herbs to help with his Casey's Gourmet Garden Teas, of which tomorrow you can catch our live stream in the morning at 8. We'll be at 9 a.m. tomorrow for a few reasons, but 9 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. Excuse me. For Garden Chat with Matt and Garden Tea with Farmer Casey. So I'll go through the garden. I'm going to show a lot of the upgrades. You'll get to see the Three Sisters garden and how it's doing lately here on the Urban Homestead. And then we're going to do Garden Tea with Farmer Casey on special location, hopefully. And got some cool things going on there I hope to share out. So, excuse me. And so that is going to be neat. And so before I hop into some other stuff, I'm going to go ahead and actually get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's stream, or the talk that I wanted to talk about. Very good. We got 9 people, so I guess you guys are still a little bit interested. So tonight you may have seen from my thumbnail there. Let me see here. And so there we go. So tonight, as thumbnail was kind of showing a homesteader with a question mark, gardener with a question mark, self-sufficient, natural, health or sustainable, farmer, question mark, prepper. And it's really, what am I and what is a homesteader? And that's where I was getting with that. Or a lot of people. So a lot of people I see do these videos, they address what is a homesteader. A lot of people like to claim they are and why, or put a label on that, different things. So I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And am I a homesteader? I call myself an urban homestead. I like to title myself a lot as a homesteader in training, or homestead in training. And part of that is I never want to get away from the in training part. Really, I'm Matt in training. And if I ever get to a point where I no longer need to learn things or need training, then I'm doing something wrong, because I should always be growing and learning and training and building skills. That's a huge part of my life. And so I question, am I a homesteader? Am I going to get to a certain point that makes me a homesteader? And so I kind of broke this down a little bit. And so, hey there. We got Kelly in here as well, just popping in to say hi. Well, thank you for your support. Good to see you. J. Mary, y'all, my PC keeps messing up, so you may not respond too much. That's okay. I'm sorry about that. Just maybe listen if it'll let you do so. So some people claim to be a homesteader, and some people would say they're not. Some people say they're not a homesteader, and I would think they are. Different people claim to be different things. A farmer, a prepper, survivalist. They're either going at it for self-sufficiency or sustainability, or maybe health reasons, dietary reasons. There's a whole myriad of reasons why people would become a farmer or homesteader or a prepper or someone that's minded towards self-sufficiency, eating good and healthy and natural. And so there's many reasons why people go about it. I talked a little bit about the reasons why I do, and I can get into that more. But I started off by really just looking at, so what is a homesteader? Well, when I look up the definition, it's not very helpful. It says a homesteader is someone who owns a homestead. Okay, thanks, Google. So I look up what's a homestead. Well, a homestead is a house, especially a farmhouse, without buildings. So not a whole lot there. So then I kind of look at, well, what's the definition of a farmer? Well, the definition of a farmer is someone that owns a farm. So what's the definition of a farm? An area of land and buildings for growing crops, rearing animals, typically under the control of an owner or manager. So when I look at this, then I start asking myself, okay, then what is a farmer to me? So typically a farmer, to me at least, would be someone that's growing one, maybe two, or a couple crops. They're probably growing these crops in mass for sale, or that's their job. They're doing it to earn money. Not always, but usually, a lot of times. And so a farmer does those things, but is a farmer a homesteader? Not necessarily. I think a lot of times probably, but I also believe there's probably a lot of farmers out there that grow their crops and things, but still very much so live a city life. There may even be ones that live in or near the city and want to go in that direction, but have their land and their fields and all that. So you can be a farmer and not be a homesteader. So I look at, okay, well, some of the other things I do besides growing crops is I'm very interested in prepping. And in this particular kind of prepping. So I look at, what is a prepper? Well, it depends on why you're doing it, I guess. So sometimes people prepare for a hurricane, and so they're a prepper for that because of an area they live in. Sometimes people prep for food shortages, and so maybe you put a couple weeks or more of food back. Some people prep for having a house next month, and so they've gotten an apartment or they've gotten a house. Some people prep for eating next week, and so they go out and they buy enough groceries for that next week. Some people prep for going from season to season, maybe. And so is a prepper a homesteader? No, they can be. A homesteader most certainly, I think, is a prepper, not just can be. But a prepper is not necessarily a homesteader. Not a lot of times. They're not necessarily geared that way. So then I look at, okay, well, what is someone that is self-sufficient or self-sufficiency minded? Are they a homesteader? Well, someone that's self-sufficiency minded may be that way for many reasons. Maybe they don't trust the system. Maybe they know what's put into foods, or they want something healthy, natural, sustainable. Someone that doesn't want to rely on others, and so they want to make sure that they have what they need and their family needs to continue going. So someone with self-sufficiency in mind probably a lot of times might be what I would clarify as a homesteader, and I'll get into that, or define as, but not always. So then, okay, well, break it down a little bit further. I say I'm an urban homesteader. I really just have a garden is what I have. So what's a gardener? Someone that has a garden that grows some vegetables. They can maybe even just be ornamental or plants or things like that. Is a gardener a homesteader? No, they can be. A homesteader most certainly can be a gardener, and probably is, but a gardener is not a homesteader. So you have all these different categories and things I like that I think I kind of fall in, and there's a lot more. That's just my examples. That doesn't necessarily make you a homesteader. That makes you maybe that minded that way in certain areas. But when I look at what is a homesteader, well, a homesteader is all of those things, though. A homesteader is a gardener, a farmer. A homesteader most certainly is a prepper, or should be, in my opinion. You're preparing from growing season to growing season, whether you have enough or not. You're canning or freeze drying or putting back. So most certainly is a prepper. A homesteader is someone that's self-sufficient in mind, definitely. They want to keep themselves going. most likely, most of the time. Now, the homesteader may use a lot of chemicals and things, but mostly a lot of them are minded towards being natural or more healthy living. So when I look at what's a homesteader, to me, a homesteader is a way of life and an action on that. And so what I mean by that is it is someone that is taking where they're at in their circumstance, and they're trying to build that into something that will keep them going, keep them alive, their family. So they're prepping, they're freeze drying, they're canning or stocking back cans. They're doing a little bit of prepping. They have probably a garden, whether it be in an apartment, in pots and things like that, in a little urban setting like me, or on some acreage. They're, doing all these different things. And so when you are geared this way and you're making that a lifestyle and you're doing actions daily, you're raising some small animals or doing some small crops, or you're moving in that direction, to me, you're a homesteader. And here it says someone that owns a homestead. Now, I'm going to burst some people's bubble here, but you don't own anything. Well, most people don't own a lot, and probably the land. So even if you have a whole bunch of acreage and all, you're still paying property tax on it. That land can still be seized. You don't technically outright just own it. Even though you may, it still could be taken from you. So whether you're in an apartment where you have to be under very strict guidelines and rules, you're a home with a little urban setting where you have more lax rules, or you're on acreage where you can make your own rules for the most part. Now, once again, you still have to follow permits and laws and guidelines. So whether you make your own rules or not, But either way, no matter where you're at, it's just varying degrees. So you may be in varying degrees of being a homesteader. But I believe if these are your actions and your intentions and what you're going towards and some of these different things, then yeah, I would classify you as a homesteader. And so that's how I put myself. So that's my little spiel. I'll hop back in the comments here, but it's just something I kind of guess wanted to get off my chest for a little bit. But let's see. So let's hop in back to comments for a minute. When you quit learning is when you die. Yep, I want to learn until that day. A prepper is a wise person. Yep, and I think we're all are. Most of us are preppers. It's just as to what degree you're doing it. So the homesteader wants self-reliance. Yeah, and by that very desire, they're usually edging into the realm of being at least somewhat prepared to take care of the family with food and water. A prepper is thinking primarily about being ready for disaster situations. Okay. Yep. So yeah, preppers I think you can be a prepper that's prepping for disasters. I think a prepper is minded that way. So I like actually from American Homestead how he puts it. And he says, if a person follows prepping to its logical conclusion, they're going to wind up on a homestead. And I really like that because it's true. If you take prepping and you just prep for a disaster, or you're doing these small little preps for whatever it's for, and you just keep expanding that out, and you're expanding your preps, how you do it, eventually you're going to build up to where you're self-sustainable. You're on a homestead, you have animals, and you have these things. So I really think a prepper starts down here, and a homesteader is kind of the accomplishment of all these prepping things. Now, homesteader doesn't necessarily have to be a prepper. They could not do any of those prepping type things and just rely off what they pick that day. Certainly, I think a lot of them are. Hey there, Steve's in here. Hey, Steve, good to see you. So that was just, I wanted to bring that to discussion a little bit. People definitely like talking about it a lot. Hey, Steve. Cool. Yeah, so some good comments there. So let's see here. So we do got a lot going on. We have our tea business we're still developing and starting. That's coming along slowly but rapidly, I guess. So if it seems very slow, there are a lot of things happening in the background behind the scenes that are going. And so some of that you guys are going to get to see if you join us for tea tomorrow. We have a lot of setup and things getting going there. So we do have our website up, and I am going to show that real quick. We haven't added more product to it, although I will be soon. So I just want to show anyone, you can do graftedbranchhomestead.com, and let me share that out real quick. There we go. Okay. So yeah, graftedbranchhomestead.com is our website. This is where we are going to be adding all of our products and teas as they come out. My goal again is to get it out, at least one of them this next week. But we're going to have to do that as time allows and as things come. Really what I want to show here though is some of our other media. So of course you can check us out on Instagram here, where my wife has a lot of cool different pictures going and things we have going on. And we're also over here on YouTube, of course. Here's our TikTok. So join us on TikTok. Excuse me. Well, these are real neat. We'll play this. Oh, see, I don't got much, but I'll give you all that I have. 'Cause your hand in my hand is all that I'd ever ask. I'll give you my heart and I won't take it back. All right, let's see, there, am I back? Okay, there we go. So just a couple things. Check out our website for stuff coming along and some of our other social media. And everyone was saying hi to Steve. Cool. And then, of course, we're on Facebook as well. At Grafted Branch Homestead. So let's see here. There we go. So over here on Facebook, you can check us out, see some of the different things we made and some different announcements. Some of it doesn't want to load. Ooh, that's a big egg. And then we made some hollow toast. Yum. All right. There we go. So a couple different things. Like us, I don't know where it would really classify. Yeah. Some of my rounds call us farmers. Others say we're homesteading. I say we're just trying to live the best way we can for us to be. I think that's an excellent way of putting it. Yeah. I guess in my thoughts, I struggle a lot with, well, what am I, or where would I classify myself? And sometimes you do find yourself in that gray area, I think. Really, it's with sustainability, self-sufficiency minded there. Yep, self-sufficient as possible. That's the goal. Nikki, you are a homesteader, Verna says. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. So, and hopefully I eventually will get on some land. That's the goal, and be able to homestead more with bees and other animals and things like that. So the other thing that's been going on, we got some Myshire quail eggs in the mail. The ones we had ordered on live, if you saw. So I got our jumbo eggs. I had ordered 50 of them. Now it looked like the mail carrier may have kicked our box or something. We ended up having 10 cracks. So 40 went into the incubator. But hang on one sec and we'll pull that up. Okay, so the light just clicked off there. I do want to say this is the incubator I built. I absolutely love this thing. There are a couple little upgrades since the build video, just kind of with the trimming and some locks on it. I put a couple air holes. Um, and then I have the Govee in there. But this thing has maintained 99.5 since I put them in there the entire time, and about 45% humidity. It's really easy to up the humidity in it when I want. And I've had a wool blanket over it, but really I don't touch it. I leave the blanket on it. I check my phone. The Govee is really cool because it connects Bluetooth, and it will give you charts, and it will even give you alerts you can set. So when it goes above or below parameters on the humidity or the temperature, it will alert me. And so I haven't gotten any alerts yet because it hasn't gone anywhere yet. It's sitting right where it needs to be. And so when it drops down, again, the lights will click on, and you guys should be able to see the Govee over in the left, and you'll see that it's temperature there. But anyways, I got 40 of those eggs in, so we'll be hatching those out. I also have the homemade brooder box right here below that I'm actually going to set up, and we'll have them in there. So that is neat. There we go. And so today's stream, or tonight's stream, I didn't plan on being a real long one. I didn't have a whole lot to say. I kind of wanted to get people thinking about, homesteading and those different things a little bit, just to generate some conversation. And, of course, get back to the stream since we missed last Saturday. Now, I know we missed one of those Sundays. Was it last Sunday? I think, too, where I slept in. I was absolutely wiped out, and so I woke up too late and missed that stream. We are going to be on tomorrow, though, from location with Casey. So we're hoping on a hatch. These eggs, now QuailCon's coming up here, and I'm actually wanted to talk about this kind of near the end of the stream here a little bit. Got some excellent, really good news and a little bit of not so good news. What time tomorrow? So tomorrow, Verna, it's going to be 9 a.m. my time, so I think that's 11 your time. I'll put up the thumbnail shortly after this stream. So this stream's probably only going to be about a 45-minute one, as I got some things to get to. But so tomorrow, me and Farmer Casey will show the garden. We're going to have tea with him on location. He was going to talk with me. We're going to discuss a little bit of news and some things. I'm going to go ahead and spill the beans here tonight, but then we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow. 35 days until QuailCon. Yes, and I am so excited. Oh, that's cool, Verna. No, that's fine. You enjoy. If you can make it, that's awesome. If not, you just enjoy. But so me and Casey are going to talk about the news a little bit more, but I'll just say that tonight. So if you don't catch it there, but yeah. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make it to QuailCon. I have a lot of stuff going on the personal end. Finances have some to do with it, but I just have a whole lot that I won't discuss here for just to keep it personal. But it's been going back and forth, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to make it. And things with my work and other stuff as well, which is part of why I want to start this tea business. But anywho, I was able to get my plane tickets and hotel and rental car and QuailCon tickets and all that taken care of. So I'm going to be flying into Cincinnati, and I have a couple layovers. I had to get timing right. I have a couple stipulations in my own life that I follow that make things a little more difficult, but I still follow them. So I'm flying in on Friday. That way I can get all situated with everything I need to financially and stuff. And then we'll be there Saturday and flying out Sunday, kind of late night. And so I get to go, which is extremely exciting this year. Oh, there we go. The light just kicked on. The kind of sad news is Farmer Casey will not be going this year for financial, but also for some other personal reasons. Me and my wife spoke a lot about it and went back and forth, and we kind of have some personal reasons, but he won't be joining me this year. So he will be joining on some live or some FaceTime. He's also going to be sending his love and some gifts with me. And so we'll get to do that. And then hopefully next year we'll get him there. My goal is to get the whole family. So I know I probably just disappointed a lot of people as he's the star of the channel. And so I really, I'm sorry about that. You guys will just have to put up with just me this year, unfortunately. But let's see. Sure. Okay. That's okay. I understand. A lot of my times don't work for a lot of people. A lot of people just watch in replay. But I do appreciate any time you can pop in for sure. Okay. Yeah. 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 I'm so sorry, Verna. It was hardest to tell you, and actually Farmer Casey that's what he was saddest about, was not seeing you this time. We do have some personal things I won't get into and some other stuff, but he won't be joining. He's going to hopefully join on Facebook video chat for some of it, and he's also going to send some very special gifts. So part of our teas is we're doing some organic source teas for grafted teas. Then we're doing small batch gourmet Farmer Casey's gourmet garden teas, and those are going to be small batch because they're all grown here. Now, some of the plants, like our lavender and lemongrass and some of our other ones, we didn't get a whole lot of, but we did get some. So that's going to be very special small batch teas in a mix that we're doing there just for a special someone. So that will be going along with. Yeah. And then, of course, I'll get to pick up a lot of neat things to bring back to him and video and stuff as well. So that is some bittersweet news. Kind of sad that he's not coming. I'm extremely excited for me, though. It's going to be great. I'm not a social person. I don't travel. I don't get out and do things, especially on my own. I'm really moving outside my comfort zone to go and do this, but I'm so excited to meet the people and to learn a lot, take a lot of notes, and do all those things. So it's going to be really neat. I'm hoping to bring a lot of just gifts, I guess, or little samples of our teas that I can give to some of people, some of you guys here. His Kool-Aid tea. It's a special blend. And that one doesn't have chamomile, so we left that out because I know you don't like chamomile there. But I'm extremely happy. So that's the sad part, and we are going to talk about it tomorrow with him a little bit because he wants to talk about that a little bit. But I can't get down about that because I am so extremely excited that I'm going to get to go, most certainly, and promote that as well on my stream. And then hopefully next year, my goal, I'd like to get the whole family there. That would be really neat. So there we go. You can see the incubator there, even with the window open and the fans on and all that, is holding temperature. I was going to show my Govee, but it's on the phone. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. I used to struggle with insomnia really bad. It kind of comes in bouts throughout my life, so I understand it definitely. I think I've just been so overwhelmed and kind of stressed and stuff, to be honest, lately, that I've been out. But I definitely understand bouts of insomnia and whatnot. It's hard to find things that really help and don't make me groggy. Cool. Well, oh, okay. Where is it again? So QuailCon, it's in Miamisburg, Ohio. So I'm going to be going from central New Mexico, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, well, outlying edges of Albuquerque, New Mexico, to, I like to say that because Albuquerque. Anyways, all the way to Miamisburg, Ohio, which I believe is about 1,500 miles. It's probably the farthest I've ever traveled. So I'm really going away from the desert in my comfort zone. Yep, September 2nd and 3rd. And that's, I guess, up kind of close to you, a lot closer than I am to you now there, Phil. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a blessing and a curse. Yeah, QuailCon. And she's dropping the link. So QuailCon's neat. I got in for all the classes that I saw, the farm first aid and butchering and all the ones that let me do. I saw there's the master classes that you're doing, Verna, and a couple other people. I didn't see sign up for that. I don't know if it was just full when I bought my tickets, if I waited too long or not. Um, I wasn't too sure if things were going to pan out, but I went ahead and just took the leap. I think it's something that's going to be good for me personally, something that's good for our family, as well as the Grafted Branch Homestead and our future and business as well. See in the corner there on the left, the Govee 99.5. Humidity's at 39, so that is a little bit lower right now. I think I might add a little bit of water into the dish. It's probably getting a little low. So the eggs have been in for what, about 2 days now? And so they're regulating in there. No, it's in the main tent. Oh, okay. Oh, all those classes are free. Wow, that's exciting. I was kind of worried I had missed it, maybe. Oh, no. Okay, cool. I'm jumping out of my skin with excitement to go. Here I got something kind of funny. So part of one of the reasons I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go or not is there's a lot of different reasons, but one of the reasons was my work. We've been having a lot of layoffs, lost some managers and other people. Business hasn't been too good, and so they had denied the vacation at first, even though I'm only taking 2 days, I think, and my job's not shaky. I'm probably the last to go, but it's been kind of there. So anyways, I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. And the manager, I actually talked into covering the Sunday shift that I needed the worst. I was able to bribe him into covering my shift he's one of the ones I sell eggs to, and he has a lot of cats. And so he loves the quail eggs for his cats. And so I was able to give him a good amount of quail eggs and of eggs in exchange for covering my shift. So I bartered with quail eggs to make QuailCon happen. Ha! I think it's neat. I'm kind of a dork, but you can still do the master class even if you didn't sign up. Just partake while it takes place. Cool. But yeah, I'm excited. And then just to meet people is going to be neat. I'm going to be, I'm sure, hot and in a different climate than I'm used to. But I'm excited. I thought it was cool. Mr. Landfill, you talking about bartering, getting eggs for fixing someone's heater and doing those different things really got me thinking about bartering much more. Yeah, I thought so. It's CDB, yeah, love it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good trade, real good trade. It's actually my egg sales. I sell more eggs than I have on hand. I'll let them build up a little bit, and then I let people know I have them, and they're all gone. And so that's pays for all my animal expenses and all that. So that's been great. Of course, we have enough for us to eat. Hoping to be selling more of the quail themselves. I do have a couple interests that I'm excited about. And then, of course, just by talking to people and different things at QuailCon, I hope to get some new ideas and stuff about where to do that. Me and my wife also talk a lot about farmers markets. Right now with my work and some other things, that's kind of been preventative. I haven't been able to do it. I really need to get Sundays off. But I know I can sell some of that stuff there. So part of what's taken me so long with my quail stuff and my tea business and all that is contrary to how I normally live my life. I've decided to go and get all the permits and legal stuff and all the things I need set up. And my wife's help has moved that along. Without that, I don't know how quickly it would move along. See my lights dimming. But tomorrow we'll be on location with some specialty stuff, with some exciting things. I also look at, there's a lot of easier ways I know I can do. You can actually, I forget what it's called, but you can hire companies that will produce your product and label it for you, and then you sell it or drop sell it. That's kind of an easier way to do things. But my goal is, we're doing our grafted teas for bulk or to source product, so I can do it in scale from very good product, organic products. But my goal is really to move towards the gourmet garden teas, or the things we produce here on the homestead. And so in order to do that and have complete control over everything that the plant gets, as in no chemicals, nothing like that, how it's grown to how it's dried and packaged, I really want to be able to control all of that. So we've also been getting in some equipment, I guess, so I can control the area, the cleanliness, and all the product. I want to make sure everything that goes in is good, very high quality, and that what I'm giving people is an excellent product. So we've been moving along that way. September in Ohio won't be bad at all. Oh, okay, cool. So I know here, supposedly, according to the weather, we have this week and maybe next of, those triple digit temperatures. And then it looks like it might be dropping down a little bit. So I'm assuming I want to wear short sleeve shirt there probably. Now here in New Mexico, I wear my jeans and boots and shirt like this all the time. But I do sweat, and that cools me down actually. I know with the humidity there, I might want to try shorts. Hard to get me in, but farmers market in Franklin stinks. Too clicky and too much junk. Yeah, a lot of them get that way, unfortunately. I've actually been tossing around the idea of what an online farmers type market for YouTubers and homesteaders and people like that have small businesses and products to sell, that can all come and do an online farmers market type thing. I'm sure there's probably something like that exists, or I don't know how you go about the logistics of it, but I thought that'd be really neat if you could get a bunch of people in, maybe on panel or an auction type thing. I don't know how you do it really, but that have their homesteading products, their farm products, or other things like that, and you could barter and sell there. I think that'd be really neat. Ohio, Franklin, Ohio. Where are you at? No, yeah. J. Mary, where are you at again? I know this. Okay, Thursdays. And so you can't get there. So I need to look into it more, but we have a couple farmers markets here. A majority of them are Friday, Saturday, and you have to be there for both. Again, I have a few stipulations I throw into my life that make things more difficult, but I think it's for very good reason and well worth it for me, so I do it. So I don't buy or sell on Saturday, so that makes some of those farmer markets kind of out for me. They do have ones on Sunday, but I work Sundays or just Fridays, but I got to find what works and not sacrifice my personal values in the meantime. So I've been in humidity. When I was a kid, I was in humidity in Oklahoma. I did take one trip to Florida years ago, and so I remember that humidity. But besides that, I don't really remember a lot of humidity. So I'm really curious. I'm gonna have a blast. So I got my hotel. I think I'm at the Holiday Inn, and I got a rental car. So I'll land in Cincinnati Friday night and drive in to Dayton. And I think it's about an hour drive, and so I'll stay at the hotel there, and I'll get myself set up, and then I believe QuailCon starts Saturday at noon there, which will feel like 10 a.m. to me. So I know that time change may give me a little jet lag, and who knows, and so yeah, I don't know about how many people are at QuailCon. Usually, or how many people are expected to be there? Is it a huge group? Oh man, yeah, Tucson and Phoenix, and so where we're at in Albuquerque is kind of the hottest part of Albuquerque. We're up on a mesa, and if you're unfamiliar with what a mesa is, it means table. It is basically an enormous mound of sand, mesa sand, that the top of it has been sheared off to a plain. And so the river sits way down below us, and the city and the valley and the mountain. And so we come down, and then we go way up on the mesa, and that's where we are. So we're basically on a serving dish held before God and the sun and the sky and all to scorch and burn. That's where we are. What? It is? How did YouTube censor where did it censor you, Verna? I didn't see. Okay, yeah. So this is what I need to learn more about. So I got my permits and all of that to sell here. New Mexico's not too friendly, I know, with their laws when it comes to game bird and eggs and things. Some things they are, some things they're not. In state, it's very easy. When I'm shipping out of state, I do need to research that a little bit more. When I looked at the MPIP, which I still need to do, here in New Mexico, it seemed really difficult for me to find. When I look up some states, they have their whole site and all that. Now, New Mexico is, excuse me, I got my pants are bunching up. Sorry, probably didn't want to know that. New Mexico is agricultural in some ways. We do grow a lot of stuff, have a lot of ranches and cattle, things like that. But I guess a lot of urban people or stuff aren't really minded that way. They could be. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just getting started. Arkansas. Okay. Yeah, I knew. I just wanted to say Mississippi. I don't know why. But yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, Steve, I don't know why I was thinking you were in Ohio too. Half the time I say something, it makes me have to refresh the page, and it keeps airing out. I'm sorry about that, Verna. I know mine was doing that a lot in live streams this morning and the other day. It wasn't giving me the comments right. I don't know if there's anything I can do to help fix that. Oh, I think she's asking where you were at, Steve. It's glitching out for a lot of people. Okay. Well, hopefully it's not on my end. I do have a lot of technical issues. I know my computer here was showing lag earlier. So hopefully it's not on my end. We are nearing the end of the stream. I do appreciate everyone that shows up. I really enjoy the fellowship. I appreciate the support, whether you're here for a minute or the whole stream. And, of course, I never feel guilty if you can't show up to some of them. You have things going on. I take excitement in that. And life is cool. Life is exciting. So, oh, neat. Okay. So I got really confused when I was, and we're going to be wrapping up the stream in a minute here, but I got really confused when I was booking my tickets because because of timing and things, I had to fly into the Cincinnati airport and price and all. And when it came up on my things, it said Kentucky, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Or was it Kentucky or Kansas? It said Kentucky. Sorry, I'll show you how well I know the country. Anyways, and so I was kind of freaking out, and I was like, oh no, and I guess that airport sits right on the border or right there. Okay. So I did contact them at one point, and they weren't very friendly and helpful. Someone else here has told me I should probably go. I guess New Mexico does have a poultry swap. And so if I go there, I can probably talk to people and get a lot of information. So I may just need to do that. When I first started off with the quail, I actually was able to give some of the males to a YouTuber that lives here near me. And so she contacted me, and I met up with her and gave her some. I haven't seen her since. She might still be in here somewhere. I don't know. But okay. Cool. Thanks, guys. Oklahoma, Arkansas border. Hanging in Judgetown. Okay. So, well, I guess the whole east side of the country, probably most of the country, but the borders of the states are obviously shaped funny and how they fit together. And they're also a lot more populated, so there's cities on the borders. If you've never been to New Mexico or this area, the entire population of the state can fit in a lot of these cities. We're very spread out here. Someone says we have very big skies, and I liked how they said that. And what they mean by that is everything's built really like 1, 2, maybe a couple stories, real low to the ground, real spread out. There's not a lot of big cities. And then, of course, we're pretty much a square with corners that meet up at the Four Corners area of the country with us in Oklahoma, Nevada, and Arizona. And so there's not a whole lot there. Okay. Across the Ohio River from Kentucky. So I'm like, right, wow, I'm going to see a lot of stuff. The Ohio River. And I'll be driving. So I get lost driving around here. As you guys know, I'm very ADHD, and I get distracted and I get lost driving here. So I am getting a car, and I'm driving an hour through Cincinnati to Dayton, and then around there in Miamisburg, and then back. So prayers. If I make it, we'll see. My wife's not in here. She would be laughing at me. Judge Parker would hang 6 men at a time. Yikes. What's that song that Beer for My Horses, I think? The Willie song? Oh, hey, thanks, Verna. Okay. Can I save this comment? I think so. All right. Thanks, Verna. That's very helpful. I can copy. I copied it. All right, cool. Thank you, Verna. Okay. Oh, okay, for driving. All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'll do that. So I opted out of getting navigation for the car. I haven't renting a car. They have so many different things, and I know when I go pick it up, they're going to try and get me with other stuff. I do want like collision and theft because the world's crazy and you never know. But I didn't add navigation or any of that. Maybe I should have. Oh wow, Verna, you found that fast. Golly, man, I'm not good at finding stuff. Sometimes I wonder about myself. I do. I appreciate it. That's why I need people like you in my life. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But I am going to be wrapping up tonight's stream. So if anyone has anything they'd like to say, comments, questions, celebrations, anything like that, go ahead and throw that out now. I'll take a few minutes to let that catch up. And then, so I'm going to wrap up with my things of join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. I'll be having the thumbnail up shortly here after the stream for Garden Chat with Matt and Garden Tea with Farmer Casey on location. And then, of course, we'll be back next week, Saturday evening at 8:30 Mountain Time, same time as this week. Check us out at graftedbranchhomestead.com for our website, new stuff that's always coming. If you ever want to mail anything in, that we have our P.O. Box address there, or need to get a hold of me, there's phone number and email. Yeah, I won't. No, they're just trying to get me. Okay, that's great. Yeah, and I have your numbers. That's awesome, Verna. Well, I am extremely excited. I am. A lot of good stuff going on. Great chat tonight. Thank you guys for letting me throw around a couple ideas and some chat and then just share the mind of Matt for a minute there. It has been good. I do appreciate you guys all. So looks like that might be about it. So I'm not going to thank everyone individually like I like to do tonight, but thank you guys for coming. Thank you, CDB Verna, for moderating. Without you guys, this channel wouldn't be possible. So I appreciate you very much. So until either tomorrow or next week, you guys have a great day, a great evening, a great week. Go out there, purpose-driven, and do the things. We'll see you next time.